Welcome back. We have Math Level E, Lesson 25. We're going to be starting on our textbook page today. Go ahead and find part 1. Okay, follow along as I read. If a number is not a prime, you can show the prime factors for that number. The prime factors are the prime numbers that are multiplied together. You can see the number is not prime. 30, to show that it isn't prime, you start with any multiplication fact that ends with 30. 6 times 5 equals 30. Now you check to see if both those factors are prime. If 5 is a prime number, 6 is not a prime number, so you show the prime factors for 6. You end up with the equation 2 times 3 times 5 equals 30. All right, now we are jumping over to your workbook page. All right, so find part 1 on your workbook page. It says complete the multiplication fact right below the fact with the prime numbers. All right, so for the prime number for A, looks like this. 10 times 7 equals 70. Okay, 70 is not a prime number, but I'm going to go ahead and look at 10 and 7 so I can see how I can get to 70 with using prime numbers. One second.
In the first answer I said because they work together, duh, and then I erased the duh.
I'm recording. Sorry. I can't. All right. So we are going to be starting with the fact written 10 times 7 equals 70. The starting fact is written 10 times 7. Below, you'll see all of the prime factors. 7 is a prime factor. 10 is not a prime factor. Okay? So, in order to figure out how to, so 7 is prime already, so I don't have to do anything to 7. However, 10, I have to figure out what two prime numbers or what prime numbers I can get to make up 10. All right, so 2 times 5, those are both prime numbers. So my new sentence can be 2 times 5 times 7 equals 70. Okay? Go ahead and look at B. It looks like this. You just have the big number. So I have to try and figure out which two numbers multiply together to get 28, and then I have to figure out the prime factors of those numbers. All right, so let's see. 4 times 7 equals 28. I know that 7 is a prime number, so I don't have to do anything to 7, but 4 is not. What two numbers multiply together to make 4? 2 times 2. Okay, so my new number sentence is 2 times 2 times 7 equals 28. All right. C equals 45. Which multiplication sentence equals 45? Let's see, how about 9 times 5? All right, I know that 9 is not a prime number, but 5 is. So I'll put a check there. 5 is a prime number. 9 is not. So what two numbers go into 9 that are prime numbers? So 3 times 3 times 5 equals 45. Here, go head out to the bathroom. Make sure you shut the door, please. Your mom's out there already. Shut that big door. All right. Problem D looks like this. Equals 42. All right, so I have to figure out which two numbers, which two numbers do I multiply together to get to 42? I'll help you. 6 times 7. All right, I know 7 is a prime number, so I don't have to do anything with 7. However, 6 is not. Okay? Do you have to go to the bathroom? Yes, go then. Oh. 2 times 3. So our new number sentence is 2 times 3 times 7 equals 42. These are pretty difficult. Don't really love these. So if you do need help, we can go over them again. Don't worry. All right. Let's see. We're going to jump back to your textbook and go to part 2. All right, part 2 in your textbook. Each fraction equals a whole number. You're going to figure out the whole number each fraction equals. Then you'll circle the fraction that is greater. So what we are going to do is on a separate piece of paper, copy both fractions. Okay? Copy both fractions for each problem down on your paper. I'll show you how to do these. These are pretty easy. These markers do not erase very well. All right. So the first for A looks like this. 16 over 2 and 21 over 3. That's A. Let me do B. 15 over 3 and 30 over 5. And C. 14 over 2 and 80 over 10. All right, so I'll have you guys do D on your own probably. So now that I have these fractions written, all of these fractions will equal a whole number. Okay, you can use a calculator if you need to or you want to. So 16 divided by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, now I have 21 divided by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Between these two numbers, 8 and 7, which one is bigger? 8. So I'm going to go ahead and circle this first fraction because that fraction is bigger. Next problem, 15 over 3 and 30 over 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 goes into 30 6 times. Which number is bigger, 5 or 6? 6. So this is my bigger fraction. Problem C, 2 goes into 14 7 times. 10 goes into 80 8 times. Which number is bigger? So this fraction is bigger. You are going to be circling the bigger fraction. I want you guys to go ahead and try D on your own and pause. When you are finished, you may unpause and we will move on. All right, part 3 in your book. These are large prime numbers. Each number has 2 prime factors. You're going to use a calculator to find those factors. Remember, the number you divide by is 1 factor. The number, you have found the prime factors when you answer on your calculator is a whole number. Item A, 91. Divide 91 by different primes until you know the prime factors. Then write the equation that shows the two prime factors of 91. All right. So our first number is 91. Remember, we're dividing till we find whole numbers, ones that do not have any decimals. So there are, the prime numbers they have listed for us are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. I'm going to write those down. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. Are you working? I'm recording. I'll help you in a couple minutes. All right. So 91, let's see. 91 divided by 2. Does it go into evenly? No. Next number, 91 divided by 3. Does that go in evenly? No. 91 divided by 5. Does that go in evenly? No. 91 divided by 7. Does that go in evenly? Yes. Do I need to take that? Do I need to take that? Shh, be quiet. All right, so 13 is my first prime number that goes into 91. 13 times what number equals 91? Let's go see. Let's continue on. So I'm here. So let's see. Put it back. All right, well, listen. You're not supposed to be having that. All right, I'm going to go back here. I'm sorry. 91 divided by 7 equals 13. So 13 times 7 equals 91. Problem B. Let's find the prime numbers for 95. All right, so starting at 2, 95 divided by 2 equals, well, it equals 46, but I don't want to have that big of a number. 95 divided by 3 equals 31.6. Nope. 95 divided by 5 equals 19. I'll start there. 19 times what is 95? Let's see. Let's see, 9 times 95 divided by 7, 13 point something, nope. 95 divided by 11, nope. 95 divided by 13, nope. 95 divided by 17, nope. 95 divided by 19 is 5. Okay, so 19 times 5 is 95. Number C. Leo, over there, do something else. I know, find something else to do until I can help you. 187. All right, so let's see, 187 divided by 2 equals 93.5. Nope. 187 divided by 3 equals 62.3. Nope. 187 divided by 5 equals 37.4. Nope. 187 divided by 7 equals 26.7. Nope. 187 divided by 11 equals 17. So I know I have 11 times 17 equals 187. Those are my prime numbers for those numbers. All right, find part, we're moving back to the workbook. Go ahead and find part 2 in the workbook. Leo, why don't you work on your math? 207, 209. All right, so my first problem here in part 2, write the complete fractions for the whole number. Okay, for fraction A, my whole number is 4. It looks like this. 4 is equal to a fraction, another fraction. It just gives me the bottom numbers, I believe. 3, 8. Third one is 1. Fourth one is 2. All right. We have done these last year, I believe. Go ahead and you have to get your top number. Remember, when you have to get your top number, you have to multiply by the number on the bottom, the denominator, by the whole number. So 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 4 is 32. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Easy peasy. Guys have done these before. You guys can go ahead and do B and C on your own. Those are easy multiplication problems. You can do those. All you have to do is write them up. All right, part 3. All right, we have another table here for part 3. Okay. The first column shows decimal values. The second column shows mixed numbers. If you read a mixed number, it tells you how to write the decimal number. All right. So row A, I have 4 and 14 over 100. All right, so this is going to help me write my decimal number. These are my fractions, and I have to rewrite it as a decimal. Remember, my whole number comes in front of the decimal, so I'm going to start with 4 and a decimal, because that's my whole number, 4 and a decimal. Next, 14 over 100 is 14 hundredths, and that is going to tell you that there are 2 digits after the decimal. All right, so remember, 1 digit after the decimal, that's tenths. 2 digits after the decimal, that's hundredths. 3 digits after the decimal, that's thousandths. Okay, so if I have 14 hundredths, I just need 2 numbers after the decimal for hundredths. All right, next one, 6 and 2 hundredths. All right, so my whole number is 6. 6 decimal, and then 2 hundredths. So 2 over 100, but I need 2 digits over here, so it's going to be 0, 2. All right, C. 1 and 17 thousandths. So there are 3 digits. There's going to be 3 digits after my decimal. So my decimal I know is going to be 1 decimal. 17 thousandths. 17 thousandths means I have to have 3 digits after my decimal. But my number is only 2 digits, so I'm going to put a 0 first, and then 1 7. All right, D. So this time they only give me the decimal, 2.8. All right, to rewrite this as a fraction, that's my whole number, the 2. 8 tenths. So 8 over 10. All right, let's go ahead and do E. And then you guys are going to try and do F on your own because A, I don't have any room, and B, it wants you to try. All right, so I'm given 24 and 31/100. Okay, so this tells me I'm going to have 2 digits after my decimal. So my decimal, before my decimal, I have 24 whole. Then I have 31/100, 24.31. That's it. Go ahead and complete F. You have to figure out the fraction. Remember, the whole number comes in front of the decimal, so you're going to write the decimal, and then look how many digits are after the decimal. If you only have 1 digit, then you'll put a 10. If you have 2 digits, you're going to make 100. If you have 3 digits, it's going to be 1,000 underneath that number. Go ahead and complete that now. When you are finished, we are going to move on to part 4. For some of these division problems, the first digit under the division sign is smaller than the number you divide by. For those problems, you work a 2-digit problem, not a 1-digit problem. Erase this for you. All right. So our first problem. 328 divided by 4. So if this number is smaller than this number, I know that I can't solve it. So I have to try and see how many times 4 goes into the first 2 numbers then, which is 32. 4 goes into 32 how many times? 32 divided by 4 is 8. And that equals 32, so I don't have anything to bring down. I can bring down my 8. 4 goes into 8 how many times? 2 times. Okay? These are relatively easy. Just make sure that if you notice that this first number is smaller than this number, that you're going to have to go into the first 2 numbers. All right, part 4 in your workbook. We'll do A together. And then I want you guys to go ahead and try these. $568. What? I am recording. I cannot stop. Do the next page or go watch your video. Your video on your math. All right, so we're going to see how many times 8 goes into 5. Can I do that? No, so 8 needs to go into 56. How many times does 8 go into 56? 56 divided by 8 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Then I have 8 goes into 8. How many times? Once. I want you guys to go ahead and try the rest of those on your own. When you are finished, we're going to move to part 5. Okay, some of the problems in part 5 show equivalent fractions, but part of the fraction after the equal sign is missing. You have to figure out the missing number. First, remember to figure out whether you have 2 numbers on top or on the bottom. Write the fraction that equals 1, then multiply and complete the fraction after the equal sign. Problem A. Let me write it up for you. Problem A looks like this. 5 over 4, parentheses, equals 20. Which problem can I work? The top or the bottom? Since I don't have anything here, I'm going to have to work the top. Okay? 5 goes into 20 how many times? 4 times. So then if I put a 4 on the bottom here, 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? So that's my problem. Easy peasy. Let's go ahead and do B together. 3 over 8, parentheses, equals 24. I have to figure out which problem I can work. I can work the bottom one. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I'm going to put a 3 on the bottom. And I'm also going to put a 3 on the top. Now 3 times 3 is 9. Let's do C together, and then I'll have you work D and E on your own. Problem C. 1/2, parentheses, equals 14. So I know I have to work the bottom. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now I have to put a 7 on the top. 1 times 7 is 7. Want you guys to go ahead and try D and E on your own. All right. When you are finished, go ahead and complete the rest of the independent work for lesson 25 in your textbook. When you are done, please submit to your teacher.